time. Those boys are in trouble. Oh, you want to know how Mr. D proposed? Okay. Okay, so we were in college. It was my senior year and his master's year. So he was there. He didn't really have to be there, but he was there for his master's. And we had already been dating for a year, long distance. So we ended up going to the same college for my senior year. And I knew he was, like, we were struggling with our money because we had school bills and nobody helped us pay for our college. So when we sat down and met with the chancellor of the college, he kind of said, you need to have a plan for your relationship and where you're going to end up after you guys graduate, because you're going to graduate in like 6 months. And so he sat down and drew out a timeline. He said, I could see you guys, continue dating this year and then maybe get engaged in the spring and then get married in the summer and end up, in one of these places. Like, the chancellor was going to hook us up. He hooked us up with Hawaii. Okay, but anyway. So, I was like, okay. So in my mind, I'm not getting engaged till springtime. That's what I just assumed he was going to listen to his counselor, right? No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, I was like, oh, we're probably not getting engaged till spring. And that's if he has money to get a ring. And so Christmas time came around. And I think Mr. D went home first. And I had to stay back because I got my wisdom teeth taken out. And then I left late from college. And Mr. D could only get like 4 days off for Christmas because he worked at this one place and he had to be back. So when I got in, he came with my grandparents to pick me up at the airport. And we hung out all day that day, hung out Christmas Eve. And then in the evening on Christmas Eve, he's like, hey, who wants to go to Philadelphia? We live in New Jersey. Philadelphia is only like 20 minutes away. So late night walking around the city, that sounds like fun. Like, I'm always up for stuff like that. Like, let's go out. You guys know me. I'm like a late night person. So I was like, yay. And so he asked my best friend, Denise, because they all were at his house. I forget why we all were hanging out, but we were. And he's like, Denise, you want to come? No, I'm tired. I'm going home. I'm going to bed. My brother David was there even. Dave, you want to come with us? No, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And just so you guys know, me and Mr. D, when we dated, we always had someone with us, a chaperone of some kind. So I think Mr. D at this point is like, who's going to come with us? Because we ain't going to Philly by ourselves, he had respect for me and my grandpa and our church standard. So he's like, who's going to go with us? So you know what he did? He looked at his brother Kevin. He's like 11 years old, and he's like, you come with us. He didn't even ask him. He's like, you're coming with us. And he's like, okay, And so we get in the car and we start driving. And I always told Mr. D, I want to go hike the stairs where Rocky ran up. How many of you ever heard of Rocky, the boxer movie? Okay, yeah. And he like runs all over the city. Then he's like running up he was not running up those stairs in one take. That's insane. But anyways, I was like, I always want to go see those stairs at the art museum in Philly. Never could find it. Like, my husband and I, on dates, we drive through Philly, and he's like, I don't even know where this place is, and it was before GPS was on your phone. So if you didn't have an actual, GPS in your car, you weren't going anywhere, you didn't know where you're going. So late at night, we're driving, and he said, oh, I'm going to take you somewhere cool. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I still didn't get it. Really, he thought I knew, but I had no clue. And so anyways, we get to the place, and he said, we're going to the Rocky Steps. I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. And so me and Kevin and him are walking, and Kevin just kind of trailing along behind us. And we walk up all the steps, and at the top was this beautiful Christmas tree they had put up on the top in front of this building. We get some of the strangest things happen that night. So we're standing up there. I still have no clue. And there's like a couple making out right in front of the building. I'm like, that's so sick, man. Go home, y'all. This is disgusting. And I was like, I want to go see what's over there, but they're over there. And then while we're standing there talking, this car pulls up on the top of the building, there's a big sidewalk next to the Christmas tree, pulls up, goes right to the edge of the steps, and I'm like, are they gonna go down? They're gonna go down all the steps, that's what I'm thinking in my mind. And my husband's like, this is so weird, why are these people doing this, And then after that, it got weird, because he's like, Kevin, go away. And I'm like, you can send your 11-year-old brother out in the streets of Philly. You're not gonna find him again. And I still didn't get So then Kevin walked away, and then I like was looking at something, and I turn around, and my husband's on one knee, and he opened this box, right? And I turn around, and I'm like, and I start crying, and he's like, Anna, you know how he gets it, Anna, and he's like, will you marry me? And I'm like, and he's like, Anna, answer me, you know? And I'm like, yes! And so he put the ring on my finger, and we didn't hold hands, we didn't hug, we didn't even hug like y'all hug hello here, like we did not do anything like that. I'm like, can I hug you? You know? And he was like, I guess so. So I gave him a hug. Kevin's in the street somewhere, you know? Gone, you know? But, and we didn't hug after that. Okay, that was our little hug, seal the deal thing, and then that was it. And then we walked back, and he's calling his friends when we get in the car, like, I want to enjoy the moment. He's like, yeah, Marty, I got engaged, you know? Oh my God. But I'm just like looking at the ring, I'm like, wow, where did he get this from? Because I'm thinking, he did not have money for his school bill. What the hell? Like, how did he buy this ring? And my ring's really nice. I didn't bring it to camp because I didn't want to lose it. And what happened was, some lady was selling her diamond, and so his dad told Rob about it, and so he bought the diamond, and then they just paid to have it set. And so I have a really, really nice ring when we had no money in college, so God provided a ring too, which I thought was pretty cool. But we made it through Bible college, and what was nice, even though, you know, it was hard to pay our bill, when we graduated, we didn't owe anything back to the college. Like, when you graduate, you don't have, like, student loans or anything. And so later that summer, oh, this is crazy. So we get engaged, and then Mr. D had to go back the next day. Oh, I remember what he said to me. He was like, did you get everything you want for Christmas? And I was like, yeah, I did, you know? And he's like, are you sure you got everything you want? And I was like, yeah? What are you talking about? Like, I told you I got everything I want. And then he got down on one knee and he was like, will you marry me? I was like, I'll take that too, you know? But anyway, so we went back to college, we finished up our last semester, and we knew we were getting married, but my grandpa told him, like, don't set a date till you come home. So we couldn't really pick our wedding date, but I kind of was like, June 2nd, I want to get married on June 2nd. We get home, and Mr. D doesn't have a job. We don't have a place to live. And he still owed 1 month of his school bill. So I'm like, well, I guess we're never getting married. No. But he had an interview to come work in Hawaii. So Pastor Reed paid for him to come out and work at teen camp so they could meet each other and see if he felt like God was leading him to come here to work. And actually, you want to know what's really cool? On Friday, it's our 10-year anniversary. And it's our 10-year anniversary of working in Hawaii, too. Yeah! So, he came out here, and I think he fell in love with you guys. And the rest is history. You know, Pastor Reed asked him if he'd like to work here, and he said yes. And guess what? We didn't get married June 2nd, but we got married as late as we possibly could in August. And we came out here like 4 days later, and we worked at the school. So our honeymoon was moving to Hawaii. But we really do love it, and we do, I mean, like, though others walk away, like, I can't tell you how many teens have sat here like you guys are. Most of them walk away. It breaks my heart. Like, when we write these songs for camp, I'm thinking of kids in my heart and in my mind. Though others walk away, by your side I will stay. Did you see all those counselors up here last night singing? Yes. Most of them were in my first teen choir when I moved here. Like, it just blesses my heart to see them. Amen. Loving God and serving Him. And you know what? They have friends that don't go to church. They have friends that do wrong things, but they still do what's right. Because you know why? They decided in their heart they're going to do what's right. And, you know, life isn't always going to be like perfect and great and happy times. But if you have God, it makes all the difference in the world. Amen. All right, let's pray. And then you guys can just take a break.